Hello everyone and welcome to the Lynn Lowdown. This is a news and information program for the City of Lynn. I'm Leslie Gould, the President and CEO of the Lynn Area Chamber of Commerce, and we are here today with Al Wilson, who is spearheading an unbelievable arts and cultural revolution, is what I would call it, quite frankly, downtown, no really, in downtown Lynn. He has come from the heavens to help us reinvent, reinvigorate, and really create really an economic driver, I think, for the City of Lynn downtown. And it's all about placemaking, movable art, and a way to get people walking from place to place, correct?
That's it.
To motivate people to see more.
Yes.
Take a look around their downtown and say, what's behind that building or what's that amazing sculpture? So Al, first and foremost, how did you get here? What is your background, and why, if you're not from Lynn, would you even care?
Yeah, well, you know, the background's in media and technology. And in 2014, I was working for a Chicago-based startup and was tasked with opening offices for them on the East Coast. And you know, I opened 6 offices in major cities on the East Coast, one of which was Miami. And I became enthralled with an area outside of Miami called Wynwood. It's a industrial area, a warehouse district, where in 2009, a private landowner decided to invite in 10 or 12 top street artists to put up giant murals. And it became something that you had to see. So in 2010, he formed a committee. They whitewashed the walls. They decided what artists were going to come in, and he did a pop-up cafe. So flash forward to 2014 when I discover it, and it's the cultural and art hub of greater Miami. There's tons of commerce being done. There's really cool coffee shops, restaurateurs who couldn't afford one of the traditional spots in Miami to open a restaurant had taken a flyer on Wynwood and had opened some really good establishments. And then there was market rate housing for all parties, so millennials to empty nesters. And at the time I thought, man, this is interesting. This could be mirrored elsewhere. I knew Lynn. I'd played soccer for 20-something years in the Commonwealth. All roads ultimately lead to the North Shore and playing teams in Peabody and East Boston and Lynn. So I knew Lynn, and I'd recently also moved to the North Shore and had been commuting through Lynn. And I just thought, you know, Lynn was a spot where we could try this. Can you take us through the steps?
First, the vision, some of the ideas that you're enacting, and what are the steps to get this thing moving and grooving?
That's it, yeah. So, you know, in looking at Wynwood and other areas where placemaking had improved the lives of people that live and work there, and it had maybe reinvigorated it in an area or repositioned it to be on the radar screen for millennials. You never know what the tipping point is, right? So it suddenly works, but what was the catalyst for that? So when we looked at various models, the genre of street artists doing murals was a key component to that. So that happened in Wynwood, it happened in King's Cross in London, it's happened in Brooklyn, obviously, and others. And so that was a component that we wanted to instill here. So we've got 10 murals coming in by international street artists. They're acclaimed artists. So that's something that we're trying to put in place for July of this year. Another aspect to this was that Joe Mulligan, the TDI District Fellow, who's been in Lynn now for 2 years, had got a lot of feedback from the community as to what they wanted to see in downtown. And we were able to piggyback off of Joe Mulligan and MassDevelopment's work in looking at that data and seeing that underpass lighting was a key component of what was needed and what was being asked for. And so we've managed to attract the lights of 2 top architectural firms, Payette and a lighting architectural firm, Lamb Partners, to put in place a design for underpass lighting of Central Square. We applied for an MBTA license in December of last year. That process is moving forward. So we're looking to light the underpass of Central Square. but also funding dependent, we'd be able to, under the same license, light the underpass of Washington Street as well as Market Street. Another thing that just sort of happens, and this is really a Lynn story, is we managed to rub shoulders with a really great benefactor who's donated 12 pieces of vintage neon artwork, some of which hasn't been seen in several decades. We've been working with City Hall, Mayor Kennedy, really EDIC and others to look at where we could maximize engagement of street level activity. And so we're going to hang these 12 signs within the downtown business district overlay. And that's starting really soon. So we'll have 4 pieces of neon up within the next 60 days. And then finally, there was, obviously we wanted to play some sort of ode to the industrial city that is Lynn. And GE stepped up in December and donated to the project a complete GE manufactured IA engine. The first engine manufactured in the US was made right here in Lynn by GE. And so we've got a complete engine. And so we're looking at how we're going to actually install this engine in an area in downtown. And one of the areas we're looking at is outside of the viaducts, where there's actually a hole in the ground that was poured for an installation, and there hasn't been one.
When you say viaducts, that's across from what used to be the old Lynn Item building.
That's
because some
correct.
people watching this might not know that. So we just have about 3 minutes left. So for all of these incredible endeavors, quite frankly, which again, this is an art revolution. It's going to be a cultural revolution. It's going to piggyback on everything else that's going great in the city, right? To bring people in and to appreciate Lynn. Yep. How are you going to fund it? You have artists, you've got to create displays, you've got to create structures to actually host and hold the jet engine, if you will, and the large neon sign. So how are you getting the funding? That's really important.
So we qualified for a grant through, it's called the Commonwealth Places Grant, and it's through MassDevelopment. And that grant allows us 60 days to raise our stated goal, which is $50,000. If we hit that goal by May 22nd, MassDevelopment will match those funds. Outside of that funding, we've applied for numerous grants. So many of the area banking institutions, many of the art-focused grants we've applied to, and those grants are coming in. And then we have what is really this community, which is fantastic, and the level of support's been great. We formed a fantastic committee of largely downtown Lynn residents, and each of those parties brings something to the table. So our network is rather substantial. We've got a huge kickoff party going on April 6th at the Lynn Museum. Everyone's welcome. We got fantastic donated product from Bentwater, from Short Path Distillery in Everett, and 7 to 10 local restaurants.
And this is a fundraiser.
Huge fundraiser.
Huge fundraiser. People can donate money there as well as at the door.
Suggested donation. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Al, tell me, who have been some of your greatest supporters from the City of Lynn that really helped you launch this project?
Yeah, well, you know, it's been a great community effort, and the Ward 5 residents that got involved very early have been instrumental. Elected officials have played a key role in this, and Senator McGee was a very early supporter, as was State Rep Brendan Crichton and State Rep Dan Cahill. EDIC has got behind this, Community Development's got behind this, Mayor Kennedy's got behind this. So, you know, we've had tremendous support from the very beginning. Outside of that, other groups, Eastern Bank, Lynn Business Partnership, the Chamber, it's really been remarkable. And there's many unsung heroes to this. The architect firms that came in pro bono, our pro bono legal counsel. It does take a village to get a project like this off the ground. But Lynn is a community of doers. And I've got to tell you, I spend every day, you've seen me either in Land of Thousand Hills or the White Rose, which are my offices. You know, I'm leaving Lynn at night with a smile on my face because I'm rubbing shoulders with such great people. And so that's who's supported this project.
So how can people get in touch with you, or where can they donate? We've got about a minute left.
So they can go on to our website, which is beyond-walls.org, or they can go to the Patronicity site, the portal for fundraising, which is patronicity.com/Lynn.
And why should people be excited about this project in closing?
Well, I think downtown and Lynn as a whole right now, there's just a level of energy that I think everybody's feeling that says something big is happening. There's a bunch of projects outside of this installation which are all coming online in the summer. So I think the summer of 2017 is going to be a fantastic time for Lynn. And the lighting of the underpasses and the installation of this art just adds to that. But the more the merrier, for sure, and we'd love to have people involved.
Al, I really feel strongly you're an angel to this community. I don't know where you came from, but I'm very grateful. I think a lot of people are very grateful for your effort. It just goes to show that it takes a lot of people to create the downtown and create a community. It's not just about one person or one elected official, et cetera, et cetera. It's about a lot of people doing a lot of extraordinary things, and I'm very grateful to you, and I know a lot of people are. So thank you. We wish you the best of luck with your endeavors, and we hope that everyone comes on April 6th to the Lynn Museum.
Lynn Museum. We're kicking things off at 6 p.m. We're going till 10.
Thank you so much, Al. Thank you, everyone, for watching the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Leslie Gould, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Leslie.